both of these teams are still lacking a lot in my eyes, right? Like Execration, they've got great tower push, they've got good team fight, they've got pretty decent lockdown. Maybe not so much against the Tidehunter, but their catch isn't amazing right now. So maybe that's what they're going to be waiting for. It's going to be a little bit of time until the Shadow Shaman picks up a Blink Dagger or anything like that.
Okay, well, what do you think the roles are for Execration? You reckon it's a Ragey Potato Silencer, Bob playing the Lesh, and they're looking for one?
Let me just see what they ban out actually on Execration side for how they're wanting to adjust things around. Like they're getting rid of a Dark Seer paired together with an Earth Spirit and a Ricky. It's it's pretty good. I do. I think the Silencer, if they're protecting it, the fact that if it is a tied position 1, it's just going to get shredded in lane. You've already got high attack damage on a Shadow Shaman. And, well, you do have to be a little careful though, right? You've got the Gush Nightmare set up and some decent right clicks to be able to kill off Shadow Shaman pretty early. So, honestly, no matter how it happens, I feel like whatever lane Shadow Shaman is in is going to be a high kill lane. Getting rid of the Luna. So just anything that's able to quickly convert a one-team fight into towers. So Luna, probably one of the best ones at that role.
5 seconds remaining.
What even is there left? I mean, Terrorblade, it feels a little bit too cooldown reliant. Tino hasn't been playing it a ton. They've got a bunch of ways to get it onto the back line, so you can't go something like a Drow that's a little bit too squishy if you are able to get it onto her. What else is left?
Do you feel like it has to be a melee hero? Because I don't think they can pick a ranged. I think you have to have a melee with your Silencer 5. So you could, I mean, Slark, it's banned out, so don't worry about that. I was going to say the matchup versus Ricky is not the greatest.
The only ranged hero that I could potentially think of would be a Morphling, just because I feel like if you're able to morph into an Earth Spirit or a Ricky, you get good value out of it. And they go the Tiny instead. Because typically you want to be able to chase down someone when they've got the Arcane Curse onto them, right? They typically are just trying to disengage as much as possible, but you really want to force them to try and fight you, so you can look to go for an aggressive waveform. They're going to go the Tiny instead. Again, look for more of this repositioning. Bob played a fantastic Tiny in game number 1. So then is this... This couldn't be in Abaddon position 1, could it? Or do you reckon it's just more safe to be the Lesh Abaddon?
Oh, I don't know. That's what I thought it was going to be. So now I'm a bit intrigued. Army Geniuses, though, they're looking for... They believe it's their offlaner, potential flex with Dawnbreaker. Are there any holes that they would like to fill real quick?
They've got decent initiation. The damage is all right. Decent split between magic and spell. It does feel a little... They can't take towers, and it feels very reliant on high cooldowns as well, outside of the Ricky. So how are they going to be able to combat that? You know, the Darkseer, I feel like, was a pretty good ban, so...
Tinker! You may now select
your pretty good Tinker game. It's a very good Tinker game. So Tino Tiny, okay.
Tino Tiny.
Tino Tiny. Very cool. I mean, this is a free Tinker game.
Tidehunter. It's the DB Tidehunter, bro.
It doesn't matter. I think he's changed his set a little bit. So I feel like he was a bit superstitious on maybe the set was some of the issues. He's still got some of the other ones he had previously, but just adding a little bit flair to it. And I even though it's a Wommy, I mean, that's cool. It's almost like a bounty hunter-esque way they'll try and play the Ricky 3 with a Tinker. It's not as good. It's definitely nowhere near as good. But I don't know how you kill Tinker. Like, this game is... You have to run over this for Execration, otherwise I think Tinker just wins them the game.
Still doesn't push towers, though. Unless DB eventually goes into this, Echo Saber build that he does, and then eventually into the Ag Shard, then maybe it might help them. I'm going to be watching that that Silencer lane. I feel like it's going to be incredibly active in the super early stages. I don't know how people do this thing with their hair. Like it's giving me a headache already. Just with pushing it back. Yeah.
Sometimes you don't have long enough hair. That's why. I have to do that sometimes. You just gotta get it out of the face. It's understandable. You're not growing the hair.
No. If I could go to a hairdresser right now, I would, but we are not allowed where we live. So
how long's the hair been at some stage?
Longer than this, much longer than this. I did not like it, and I don't like to relive those days.
Wait, how much longer though? Like
a lot longer, and it doesn't go down; it goes out as well.
Oh, the curls get the girls. What are you talking about? Come on.
Maybe the ones with your arms, not the one with the on top of your head.
We got another pause to kick us off. All right. Well, I'm not gonna lie. The read for me of this draft was not 100% there. But how are you feeling about the draft here with Execration and Army Geniuses? Do you feel like the curveball has been thrown, or is it a lineup that AG can kind of hit back with?
So your thing with, I just want to get to your point. So your point with the Tinker was that they don't really have a way to get on top of him, right? And look to burst him down. So he should be able to, once he picks up that Blink Dagger, just stand inside the fog of war somewhere away from the rest of his team and constantly just rearm and launch out and win team fights in that way.
My question, like my thing is that they don't deal with Tinker. Like that's the big issue. I feel like...
How about once Tiny has Blink though?
But is he gonna go Blink? He's a 1. I don't know if he's gonna itemize that. Like I think you need physical damage. He might. No, I don't
feel like you're gonna need to.
He probably will, but then now you're not playing off the back of.
I feel like the reason they switched this up is purely because of the fact that it's a last pick Tinker, right? And you don't want to be playing the Tiny into that because you're going to lose out on the trades every single time. So at least with the Lesh, you're going to be able to secure, range creeps with the use of the Lightning Storm or whatever it is, that you want to be using onto it. So I think it's much more of a laning stage swap that they went for here because, Lesh Abaddon, it's a very strong lane, but Tiny into Tinker, not good at all.
Yeah, I mean, we've also seen Bob have some exceptional lanes, so I wonder... Like, Execration have a lineup that I think can scale the tempo just off the back of how fast they can take towers, but they don't have the easiest way to get in. So I guess... Like, I can definitely see why you're saying Tino needs a Blink this game, but I'm just worried if he goes Blink, then... And if he doesn't get kills, how do you keep up in farm like a position 1 Tiny? Like, you're not going to have, say, the Mask of Madness, Echo into S and Y. I mean, we haven't seen Tiny in ages. I don't even know if that's the item build anymore, but that's what they were going for a while ago.
Yeah. I can see him going like this Soul Ring. Obviously, you do need some kind of sustain for the lane. It's not going to be a bottle because, Bob's going to be the one picking that up. And then just into Boots, Echo Saber, and then the Blink Dagger after that. Alright, he's positioning himself a little bit aggressively here with his Orb of Venom as well. So looking to put a bit of harass perhaps onto DB in that manner.
Do you like that they've pulled the Tidehunter down bottom and sent Wami top? In fact, Wami and BTS are actually going at it right now. Which if Wami is going to fall to the high damage that BTS has early.
What did I say about that Silencer lane? It is going to be aggressive as hell. So even though that you've moved this Tidehunter around to be able to avoid that, it's not exactly making life as easy as possible for Wami. So, I mean, if you're winning the side lanes, I feel like you don't care that much that Tink is going to, break even in mid.
There could be some...
Raging Potato has to be careful, though, up top. Taking a lot of damage already.
Yeah. It's got 2 charges in the Blink as well. Extra one more right click. Okay, that's big to find. Wami's got decent regen, so he'll be okay. I was just going to say that I think if Ricky has a bad lane, I don't see how he keeps up. Like, this hero does not farm fast at all, and now you've lowered the priority.
Raging Potato's got to get back quickly. A little bit delayed on the TP out there meant that he lost a couple of creeps, and this needs to be a lane that a Silencer is dominating as well. Like, just as important as it is for a Riki to have a good start, probably even more the case for a Silencer.
Well, at least he's got that +2 intel already, so his brain is growing. It's getting stronger. Sure, Raging Potato will love the extra boost. Bottom, they're on to DB. It's going to be important to find the silence, but them giving DB enough space to reset his positioning, and now with the Anchor Smell damage mitigation, they're going to be able to pick up the kill before DB dies. He will. He's way too tanky for Tino to find a secondary.
The other thing is, you know, Mamang Daya, once he's in the middle of these team fights, right, you're against the Silencer. So if you are able to find him out, it is heavily in Execration's favor. Not just, of course, because of the global silence, reducing a lot of his escape potential. Let's remember, you have Keen Conveyance as the thing that's moving you around now, not the Boots of Travel. So a global silence will stop you from being able to escape from a team fight.
Well, then Mamang Daya is going to have to opt into... and Yule Scepter more than likely. Top lane, action continues. Can hope to stack up more of the perma here. Don't know if they will, UK. Ooh. Okay, my dude's chilling. How much intel are you expecting them to get out of top lane?
No. I think they're probably going to get another kill or two. Oh, actually playing in the trees a little bit here. The Hex not able to combo up together with the Shackles. I think they'll probably die another 4 times total on Army Genius's heroes. And, well, I say that, but BDZ's the one getting gone on, even using the neutral creeps to be able to help.
Cool. Okay, well, meanwhile, Tino just solo killed off the Tide. So he's gone 2-1-1. Not putting more points in the tree grab, which a lot of times I've seen on the position 1 Tiny when they were playing it. So and maybe he's going to go for the very early blink before even the Echo Saber, but gives him a lot of burst. Meanwhile, as he kills across the map, as Bob is going to end up falling to Lim's rotation.
No stacks built up just yet either, though. So that's the thing I'm a little concerned about for Execration, in that in order to enable you to get onto this Tinker before he reaches his key timings, you need to have a really farmed Leshrac, and I don't feel like you've quite enabled it just yet. You know, he was placed in that mid lane out of necessity, but you got to help him come back somehow.
This early rotation from the Lesh. They're still actually going to stand their ground and fight from AG. Yeah, they've recognized that they're still pretty strong at the moment, but the Edict is stacking up, and Bob, the cleanup crew. Let's see, find 2 kills here. Yes, you traded, but with the Leshrac falling previously, he's more than happy with getting involved there.
Nearly gets the block off onto Lim as he looks to run away, but still, I mean, they got the important kills on the Silencer first, making sure that he's not there for the assists coming through, so still not too much permanent agi looking to stack up for Raging Potato.
Is there a team that is happier right now with the laning stage? I mean, with 5-5, net worth lead looking very even. Were you expecting lanes to go worse than what they did, though?
I was expecting Execration's top lane to go a little bit better. The fact that there's been 2 kills onto Raging Potato so far is as a result of a lot of punishment, so you can see that he's going into the boots of speed after this. I feel like he would have wanted to try and, you know, get a few kills and use that to rush into a super early Midas. Instead, having to go a little bit more for the survivability aspect, as they're looking to make a bit of a dive here onto Mamang Daya with Bob and the Haste Rune.
There's some big issues right now. I don't think Lim will be enough, and might have run into the Earth Spirit, but looks like they're just going to try and put as much pressure on the tower as they can with the catapult timing. This is a great movement, and kind of lucky they got the haste too, so a very early tower from Execration picked up.
Dire's middle tower has
I
fallen.
think you just need the 1 point in the Curse of Avernus to be able to assist with taking out that tower super effectively. So now,
Dire's middle tower
suddenly
is
Mamang
under
Dai doesn't
attack.
have quite as much safety if he does look to come back to this mid lane. He's going top though.
He's back here again. He just TP'd previously.
Dire's middle tower
Looks
is
like
under
now he
attack.
might see a bit of a window to find these kills. Another missile flying through from afar thanks to Ricky to scout out, and that's enough to get the kill on Ragey Potato. He's still got more missiles coming out. The incessant spam. Is it enough to be able to get the kill on BDZ though? They've got to be cautious how long they stick around, as Bob will finally reveal himself through the tree line.
It's so much damage though. Just layering in. He got 5 sets of rockets, I believe.
Did they reduce how much mana that used to cost? It doesn't look like it. I swear you never could get that many missiles out at this stage in the game though.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Just go back to top.
I mean, if you're inside the trees again, how do you look to close the gap here? You don't have a haste rune this time around. Oh, look at this. UK going for a little bit of a cheeky backstab play here.
So is Lim as well. Doesn't get the roll connection. RR's big issues right now, just the consistent sustain. It's gonna put him in a compromised health pause, but Mamang Dai is even trying to TP to the outpost. The roll to set up. Lim might even be able to kick him back. Still on cooldown at the moment. They haven't refreshed the missile just yet, but it looks like the laser from Mamang Dai is enough to find the kill. Ragey Potato would love to get some more perma intel, but the body blocks from UK will prevent BDZ to get in range, and they're going to be careful, man. You've got to stop the Tinker from just constantly spamming out these missiles, and as soon as they see multiple flying, BDZ has to reposition himself back to the triangle, but Wami will not give him an opportunity, as even Mamang Dai catches out Ragey Potato.
The positive side for Execration, even though they're losing a few kills, again, no more permanent intelligence given over to Raging Potato's Silencer, but Tino is farming on the bottom side, and he's almost built into the Blink Dagger super early, so they realize how important it is to try and deal with Mamang Dai right now.
Okay, well, like you were saying, I mean, the first item Blink, it's going to be really important here for Execration to make the plays, because they don't have this instant gap close. Okay. And running up a high ground again by Mamang Dai. You just see, they don't have a tower to protect him now, so Tinker's going to be a little bit cautious of how long he sticks. Meanwhile, top one is getting a solo kill. The level 6 Ricky up against the only 5 Silencer. And now he's 7 in fact, so Wami's having a much better time than I was expecting on the Ricky, especially with that start. And like you were saying, the lane could have been much more devastating than what it was.
Yeah, you can see Raging Potato, he's always wanted to go into this Hand of Midas. He was forced to go into the Boots of Speed to try and save his life a little bit, but he still ended up going down 5 times. If you're ever up against a Silencer core, the way to beat it is just run at it with multiple heroes, because it does not have comeback potential like a lot of these others that can just, you know, go into the jungle or quickly take out waves.
Blink Dagger is completed for Tino. He's looking at TP mid. Still, there's the consistent defense from Army Geniuses. They really don't want to give up another tower for free. We saw the tier 1 mid, there was no answer. DB's got Ravage and Hood. He's probably going to look to TP top as well, but might be a bit too late as the tower's already fallen.
They saw the rotation coming up from the Tiny and Shadow Shaman as they're going to try for a smoke here. Yes, they will, but it's underneath a Dire Observer Ward. Kind of surprising that they even attempted that, but they still catch him out.
He doesn't use it on the Ricky, unfortunately, so I'll catch out Wami. And I guess the successful reveal of the Blink, like you were saying. The smoke underneath, they thought they weren't going to get anything out of it, but they just weren't able to rally back fast enough. Now, it has given time for Mamang Dai to complete the Blink Dagger for his own, so we'll see how this item is going to help out the Tinker further. He's even going Midas. Oh.
Who?
Tinker.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. I can kind of understand it. So, the big weakness right now for Tinker is the period between level 7 and level 12. Level 7, you're insanely strong because you've got your heat-seeking missiles maxed out, you're dealing out more damage than every other hero in the game, but your Ray Arm your rearm just takes way too much time to go off. So as soon as you build up into that, you're almost halving the duration of the channel time, and also allowing you to TP off to the creep waves and look to spam them out with your laser.
So you feel like the experience is the big factor of why he's going into it?
Yeah. Okay. You need level 12 ASAP.
Execration. Gonna smoke to the triangle. It's just UK. Definitely not the valuable target they were hoping to find. They might get some camps along the area, however. Even a bounty too, but Army Geniuses, they're nearby and they're looking to mount a defense and want to make sure their own territory is controlled. The Ravage, but instantly laying down the global to protect any more follow-up, and now they're going to turn to try and clean off the tide. A great start to prevent any of the extra control. Lim just keeping DB alive for the moment. He's able to get back to safety, but Mang died. Now, if they'll just turn their attention to the Tinker, it doesn't matter if they didn't get the tide. A Tinker is more than enough with their commitment.
He legit just walked into that. He has a blink dagger, and he was off in these little trees to the right above the secret shop, and just walked on into them. I can understand wanting to get the laser off, but I feel like it could be, you know, as a combo after you're able to blink in onto something. That is a stunning move that he looked to go for that.
They might. Well, they should catch up BDZ down bot. Getting a little bit of retribution, kind of a consolation prize, as you will. But still Radiant, this has been a great success with the early blink from the Tiny, and he's still looking to get more out of it as well. Dropping the combo on Lim. 2-0 and 3 at the moment from Tino. Exactly what you want to see with the early blink, and they're looking to try and catch out UK as well. Spam's coming through. Wommy wants to deal with the backline in RR, who still has no level, in fact, in the ultimate. They're probably anticipating this to be leveled up at the moment, so they want to commit too heavily. And it's going to cost Wommy his life. They'll turn back around, dealing with Bob. DB still posturing up pretty aggressively. They can just turn their attention to claim the Abaddon, and now they can go back on 4 for the Tiny. DB with this hood is incredibly tanky, so they can't go through the Kraken man. But now with Ragey Potato even looking to show up as well, Army Geniuses, they need to refresh the mana here from the Tinker, then he can get back involved in a beautiful roll in as Lim will find the Magnetize onto multiple heroes, stopping the blink from Tino. And BDZ's recognize the fate. Just going to try and hold the back for as long as possible. An incredible Ava toss combination from Tino as he'll kill off the tide. Can they get anything more though, UK? Goddamn slow compared to what Bob is. And meanwhile, Ragey Potato will also catch out Lim. So it does look like Execration will be able to hit back. It took them a while to find the kills, but nonetheless, they'll get 3.
And Raging Potato there for all of them. So there's some of that bonus intelligence coming his way. He's finished up the Midas. He was, goddamn, he was like level 5, I think 3 minutes ago, and he's already back up to level 11 because of this heavy kill participation.
It's already the first component about to be completed as well. So yeah, Raging Potato has to be incredibly happy with how he's caught up. KDA's not looking very good, but he still has a game.
Under a Observer Ward just then, though.
Well, it's not gonna...
DB is just gonna walk up into it.
Okay. Another move where Army Geniuses see it coming. Maybe they didn't... Maybe they weren't watching on the map, paying enough attention. I mean, I guess it's obvious there.
Someone's gotta be. You know, is that... That's like one of 2 places that they had vision of in the entire map. Surely someone had to spot that out.
Is Lim gonna get chased out too? They're just feeding away a couple of very unnecessary kills here on AG. Oh. Tinker's Midas is still a bit away as well. Do you still reconsider it with how close he is to that level 12, like you were saying? More Wommy? Actually, Diffuser Blade picked up. Trying to turn back on Tino, but with the Observer Ward, they're a bit hesitant because of how close he is to the tier 1 tower for the reinforcements.
I mean, I'm just trying to think of like any other really big timings that you're looking for on this Tinker. I mean, level 15, extra heat-seeking missile count isn't that bad either. Especially considering you know that Execration are going to look to clump up, right? They've got the lineup that this is what it does. You know, you've got an Abaddon that's always going to be playing together with the Leshrac, Tiny and Shadow Shaman. They're probably going to be in the vicinity as well.
DB is going back into Aghanims. Okay. Oh, they caught out Tinker down bot. He didn't even have a blink. He just ran on forward. Looks like Mumengdai wasn't expecting this. The Nightmare not enough, and they even make sure to drop the Global Silence to secure the kill.
It's well worth it, and it's a lot of unreliable gold lost as well. Not even wanting to commit into purchasing the recipes so he doesn't lose any gold. So this is a big mistake. I agreed with you. It was a good Tinker game, but I just feel like there have been a couple of huge mistakes that he's made that have cost him dearly.
3 deaths here, and we see it slowing down the farm here for Mumengdai. And well, for Execration, they're not slowing down at all. 6,000 net worth lead. Bob's working into a Bloodstone as his next item. Looks like for Rage Potato, it's got 2 components, almost a third. And for Tino's Tiny, Blink and Echo Saber. So they are doing very well to find the farm across the map.
This is exactly what you needed out of your Tiny, right? Like, just the burst potential to be able to lock you down. It's not like they even have any save outside of the Nightmare. And, well, Bane, even though UK is a solid player, you just don't have the net worth right now to be able to get yourself in position. You'll try with the Tumbler's Toy, I'm sure, but probably not going to work out.
Invisibility.
All right. Midas is up. Mumengdai gets the first usage out of it. Of course, he's looking to go into the March of the Machines afterwards to help make this push a bit more difficult for Execration to try for. Before this next team fight, he really needs to make sure he hits up onto level 12. And yeah, he's going to put himself in a bit of a riskier position in that mid lane to make sure that that happens.
There we go. Well picked up. Again. Okay, so Radiant do not take Roche very well. I think they're going to need a lot more items to be able to do that. I don't think they're at a stage where they can anyway, and probably where they will, like with the lineup they have, but you know, maybe a T2
maybe if they
tower.
drop Mass Serpent Wards, right, with a Curse of Avernus, it might be enough.
True, actually, yeah. Serpent Wards is one of the better ways to help with that. Even they might need the Bloodstone and like a pick off to do so, but you see they're just a little bit cautious right now on the towers they're looking to claim. They don't want to give an avenue back in for the game for Army Geniuses, who probably are happy with the space they're getting. I mean, Wami's working on a BKB. A Veil for Limb is actually going to be really nice for the side of Army Genius, just amping up all of their spell damage. Midas on cooldown.
Even just DB picking up that Aghanim Scepter, right? Getting the Gush onto multiple people is going to enable the Tinker's damage even further. Let's see if he's able to make good use out of it, though. 30 seconds away from that 20-minute mark, and he won't quite have the Aghanim Shard ready right on the 20-minute mark, but he'll be pretty damn close on Mumengdai. So even though, again, there have been a couple of kills that probably shouldn't have happened against him, he'll be in an alright spot.
He's even got Keen Optic too. Alright, they're gonna smoke up. Instantly getting pinged out though. So it's even an Arcane Rune. There's some big issues. Laying down the Global Silence to try and protect him from across the map. Bob's got the reinforcements coming over. Is the Abaddon going to be enough? They need a way to get rid of the Fiend's Grip, and they do so, DB. An incredible Ravage though. Locking back 3 and securing a huge kill on Bob. You have to be cautious. They're losing a tier 2 tower top simultaneously. So it's not like that kill was for free.
Well, Mumengdai is going to look to go for BDZ here, and he'll get it.
Level 14 now for Mumengdai.
It's a bit of a mistake there from Bob as well. He didn't pop the Hood of Defiance, which you know, could have potentially saved him. The borrowed time was used there by RR, so probably would have allowed him to get another Aphotic Shield, miscoil off, and maybe get him to safety.
How long does this bubble last for? 15 seconds, okay.
The Defense Matrix, yeah. So you can have 100% uptime.
Yes, another ability that gives you status resistance. Very, very cool.
The range is so small though, so
yeah,
you have to be in harm's way quite heavily. Probably you're only going to be prioritizing it onto a Ricky, you would assume, and yourself, of course.
Is this Science of Life for Army Geniuses? Is that like a fight that you feel like will be replicated as the game goes on, or is Execration, you know, they just weren't kind of in the area to contest that?
I mean, it was a fight where Bob was just, man, he's got to be careful here, standing inside the March of the Machines. He was caught out on his own, right? And again, I feel like they got something in exchange for it in the top tier 2 tower, and he probably should have lived if he used all of his items. So I don't feel like it's too bad of a position for South. I was about to say South, but having a look at Bob's team tag, Execration, to be in. But of course, it's going to be completely dependent on Mamangda. You know, if he's out of position even once, he is. You're going to lose a bunch of towers, or Roshan, probably an even more costly one to be able to give up.
Setting up down bottom here. Alright, hand in hand, incredible silence. Is that going to be enough to blow up Bob? No, Abaddon will at least be able to get some of the defensive factors off. Now they're able to retreat back towards the vicinity of the outposts. So Ragey Potato looking to get involved as well, but Bob, he's getting prioritized down, which will be enough to secure the kill. Again, they've got to keep in mind about their own higher ground. Serpent Wards are dropped. Meanwhile, still, they've caught out Ragey Potato. A Fiend Script from afar, nowhere to cancel it. DB will claim the kill, and meanwhile, top lane, still T3 tower soon to fall. They'll get 1v once again. BDZ just surviving on a slither of health.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, not using the hood though on Bob. You know, he could have potentially survived for another round. You know, a couple of seconds is all you need when you've got an Abaddon with that Aphotic Shield on a 6-second cooldown. Just feels like some small misplays. Yes, you're still getting more out of it, but you know, you have to ask the question: could it have been that plus getting another kill plus maybe a Rax if things worked out differently?
Tino stops the outpost control, so he's got the TPs. DB doesn't have too much mana to play with this in their team fight. Get a little bit back.
Joining, though.
They're gonna buff up his mana instantaneously, so now Ravage at the ready. They need to somehow get on the main die. You see just again, this incessant use of the abilities. There's no way they can deal with it. Lim's gonna try and catch up for more as well. They have any detection right now. Tino, it looks like they do. They can kick it back.
They don't have detection right there, though. They're going to continue to slow him, but he knows, hey, you can't see me.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
BDZ actually, I think he's up here trying to catch out the Tinker if he reveals himself. He's playing the waiting game.
Dire looking to wait around at all. Another smoke. Do they have any detection freshly picked up? They almost ran into Tino. Looks like Ragey Potato, though, will be the person to fall here, caught out in the lane. Or BDZ's still hunting.
He was there. Ragey Potato, he's gonna...
They dropped the global.
That's, unnecessary.
They're not killing Silencer fast. Okay. My lord.
Man, BDZ's got a 3,000 gold, and he's queued up the BKB, which I guess kind of makes sense, but you're against a Bane, right? So he can still look to Fiend Script you.
And he can even just Nightmare whoever you're shackling.
Dire's middle tower
So
is under attack.
It's
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I feel like the Blink Dagger is so much more important against this Tinker, right? Like if he has the Blink Dagger there, sure, you might lose both supports, but if you're killing the Tinker, then, you know, you're enabling a huge portion of the map for the rest of your team.
I think he's just banking off the fact that Bane is not going to feel comfortable with getting in the middle of the fight. You know, into Serpent Wards, into all the Lesh AoE damage. They can even, if need be, just go Shackle and then Global. But I guess then why do you need BKB? Because then you're protected anyway. It's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like
and it's not like they're even like outside of the Tinker, of course. It's not like they're even super heavy magic damage focus. You know, you're up against a Ricky and a Tide Hunter. You can kind of get in and out and counter the Tinker's magic damage in that way.
Like I'm a huge fan of BKB on Shaman. I think
sure.
the duration once you hit the 15. I think it used to be 20, right? They changed it though with the break, but you used to have so much control. Still, it's going to be 6 seconds, which is it's guaranteed. Like the BKB now is lowest is 6, so you're always getting this control, which is ridiculous in a fight. That's pretty much just nullifying one hero. So I've always been a big fan. I'm just intrigued to see on how much value he'll get out of it off the back of the Bane.
Up top. I wonder if they're going to look to go for any kind of play here with BDZ dropping the Mass Serpent Wards. Yes, they will.
On the river though, but once again, combined up with the Abaddon, they need to try and silence RR. Ravage will give them some time to kill off the Leshrac, but once again, the Global Silence Ray Potato is even going to blink in the river, so this is going to be the #1 priority now as Wummy. Protected with the BKB, will look to target on forward. A 1-for-1, they need the Tinker, hasn't showed up just yet, and in fact, it's Tino that's looking to get involved. Now they can turn their attention to UK as Bob, the Fairy Pony's locked onto his target. Seems to be no escape. Cancel off the Nightmare. They don't predict...
Just get away in time.
Oh. Well, I mean, guess what's happening top? Almost a melee Rax claim too.
Yeah, the positioning wasn't great on it by BDZ. Not all of the wards were hitting it, I believe, so didn't end up taking the melee Rax. And, well, I have to be a little bit careful here, Mamangdaya.
They don't have Ravage. Tino's going back up just to try and clean off the Rax, and we'll be able to do so successfully. We're just seeing how big of an issue the Abaddon is. I don't know how you kill up RR, but you have to. His consistent spam with this Holy Locket is causing too many issues here. They're still going to try and take the fight on the high ground. Execration, they're low on the resources. They'll look to back off. Tiny the target. A great stun from Lim will protect any heal. And there's the way to kill off the cause. With the Abaddon controlled, they can turn their attention to more valuable heroes, at least in regards to cause.
Thinking about doing Roche with that Gush, getting the extra damage through with the level 15 talent. Hell, even we see a lot of tides these days. The level 10 talent for the Kraken Shell damage threshold is so effective, especially against all of these debuffs that they've got on Execration. But it feels like this is just a draft that's purely enabling the Mamangdaya, going for the extra Gush slow into the Aghanim Scepter, just to make sure that people are held in place and he's able to lay out that damage.
Can you see a way for Army Geniuses to deal with the Abba? Is it just you have to try and silence? Because I don't think you can heavily commit to kill him, so it feels like you just have to get like a stray silence and then burst a call through that duration.
Potentially a silence, or just like I think you need to pop the borrowed time super early on so that he's forced to play a little bit more defensively in these team fights, and then you know you can look to commit onto the others in the team fight. And oftentimes, you know, by the time he's looking to recommit when people are falling low, is you're probably going to have the Tinker with, again, the 3 heat-seeking missile rockets flying out at him and cleaning him up just as collateral damage.
Well, the Tinker with all his quick succession bursts is a great way to pop that ulti. You know, something that we have seen so often though paired up with the Leshracs. I know we haven't seen the hero for a while, but your Oracle, Wyvern, any saving support is exceptional with this hero. And we've just seen how Execration have been playing like 2 heroes top, and then Silencer farming solo, and then the Abaddon with the Leshrac. And it's cool to see how they're putting a lot of priority just to try and enable Bob as much as possible. And it's being recognized as well with RR's itemization. Like, he knows his role. Once again, he's right behind a core. So they'll lay down the global silence. They don't have any extra backup at the moment. Mamangdaya also just completing the Aghanims. But they need the detectionist once again. They're going to be able to fight it though with the Fiend Script from afar. A great use of the silence, preventing RR from getting the protection. But have they overstayed their welcome as Radiant? They're trying to connect on forward. They're a little bit too late though. They've also caught out Bob. Gonna try to deal with Raging Potato in the tree lane. They don't care about the Fairy Pony just yet. If they can get an easier target in the silencer, then they will.
Still able to chase him down. Where the hell is their vision that allows them to see this guy?
Don't know. Are you okay? Oh, poor guy.
Not enough range. Oh, they're even looking to... Are they chasing?
Tower is under attack.
Well, Mamangdaya might try and park himself up on the high ground there.
Well, Tide has farmed up a hell of an amount. He's second net worth. This is a very different build we've seen. Wait, Bob's caught out. He's got BKB still. Nice illusion dodge. This might give him time to get to RR and not be forced to pop the BKB. Oh, Bob. He's even going to get a kill for his plays. Okay. What an incredible player. They're coming over, though. They don't want to give this kill for free. DB's got Ravage at the ready. Now Bob will have the BKB to protect him. But the rest of the reinforcements are coming over. Die with it. Ward on the high gun. They've got to be cautious with main die. He's perfect. His placement needs to be perfect, but they'll catch him on the back line. Tino, Raging Potato. They'll get the Tinker simultaneously. DB, look at the man fight. Boyan's loose himself. He hasn't used the Ravage until now. We'll find all four, but it's just for a measly Shaman. Ravage on cooldown, your life expended, and instantly Tino looking to push it down the middle lane to utilize his 5-man wipe.
He didn't even join to try and pick off the Tide Toes. Like, you got this, boys? Alright, I'll be down mid. Man, he's looking like a pretty big boy. What is that cosmetic?
Nice. It's a big buyback on TV. I was saying how farmed he was previously.
Nothing more.
Tino taking a bit of damage here. Oh, they got the break. Now they're going to be cautious. A buyback even from the Tinker. This is a heavy commitment. Can they even get in range to keep DB alive, though? He just bought back as well. Some of the cores somehow still alive, but maybe they forced Execration's hand into a compromised position as the lasers and missiles bouncing back and forth as Bob will fall. They've caught out two. Trying to make it a third. RR TP out. He'll make it. Meanwhile, Tino as well. Silver's Edge about to expire. Wummy's still hunting.
Oh, don't go back for the bounty. Don't do it.
Oh no. Tino BKB and he'll just turn. Oh my god, so much damage.
This guy is so huge. Look at his model.
Big issues though for Dire. I mean, your buyback on your 1, your 2, and your 3.
Doesn't really result in anything either, you know? Like, the Leshrak's gonna be back alive very shortly. He's also got the Bloodstone on top of the Sanj available, so plenty of additional lifesteal for himself and tons of survivability. You know what's happened these last 2 or 3 fights that, you know, it felt like Bob's maybe got a little bit more done? He's used the hood. I've watched. I've been paying attention. He heard me. Very nicely done.
It's close to Sunjin Kyra as well, so we'll give him more capability to sustain these fights. What do Army Geniuses need to do to come back into this game? Is it off the back of just like a huge ravage into all the AoE on Tinker? Can they take these kind of your longer drawn out fights?
I mean, it's gonna be kind of ruined by the fact that you, had to buy back onto Mamang Dire. But for me, it was the Sheepstick. You know, he's been building into it for what feels like 6 minutes or so, and now he's just back to square one because of that buyback.
They're looking to actually mount a defense before Execration gets set up. But Bob's not going to give them an opportunity. An early use of BKB, they're going to lay down the global silence to cancel the Fiend's grip, and all of a sudden, Army Geniuses now have to think twice if they want to stick around. They've got a couple buybacks on the supports getting involved. That's all buybacks used previously in the past couple of minutes. But how can DB get in for a huge ravage? At least they're giving space for the Tinker on the back line, but it just means Tino can go for the front heroes. As they blink away, not going to be clipped from the ravage, but still with the backline supports will. They'll deal with the Shaman, simultaneously trying to target down the Abaddon as well. And now Bob, he's stuck in between a rock and a hard place. Maybe Tino can get involved here, blinks up in a couple of seconds. The Leshrak is so incredibly tanky, but somehow Wummy will still go through the health.
Goes through the health, goes through the Bloodstone, the BKB, the Hood of Defiance, and yeah, because of that rough start that Raging Potato had, sure he's been able to pick up the Aghanim Scepter, but it feels like you are just like a last word bot at this stage. And you know, we see when these you know, support silences, that kind of feels fine, right? You know, you want to stay on the back lines, you want to be acting as going in, going out, constantly you know, just sneakily getting off your spells. But if you're committing to a position 3 silencer...
Nice Nightmare. Sun's still going to prevent him from getting away.
Be still.
So that's a dieback for your Tinker. And
Ricky?
oh, yeah, for your Ricky. Apologies. Well, they might catch the Tinker here.
You gotta be careful here.
All the heroes brought back previously, so Army Genius just can't lose anyone. There is as many numbers as possible to mount the defense here and the comeback.
Fiend's
But
Grip.
a Fiend's Grip from far Raging Potato, they don't kill him off to cancel. So once again, the global stance used to protect against the Fiend's Grip target. And Raging Potato, he recognizes the importance of the team fight. He's going to look to buy back and protect old Tino as he's still got the Aegis for another 2 minutes. It's just a Mamang Dyer and DB show, but it's not going to be for much longer. As BDZ jump in, the preemptive tips before the heroes die as the Gs are dropped and Execration will take the series 2-0.
Well played, BDZ. That's all I gotta say. I felt like he was constantly making these cheeky plays alongside Tino, making sure that they were able to put some extra map pressure onto Army Genius's side of the map. And then even at the end, getting that game-changing Blink Dagger into Hex and locking down Mamang Dyer. Nicely done.
Very, very nicely done. And it's a big win for Execration to continue with their start so far. They're going to jump up to what looks like even in the groups against Motivate. So they were 4th previously. Now I believe they're tied 3rd. And for the boys on Army Geniuses, they're now 3-9. So they are under big threat of potentially being eliminated.
Yeah, and you hate to see it, because they do throw these unorthodox drafts together. The Tide Hunter position 1, your Huskars coming out off lane Ricky, and probably a little bit more Tinker than a lot of other teams like to do. Unfortunately for them, not quite working out. And yeah, again, they are putting themselves in a little bit of that danger position there.
Yeah, there's some issues right now, but they're a team that is able to pull it together. They've played so much together. Maybe it's could be a bit of an issue of just the exhaustion with how many series they're playing a day, but how many series do they actually have left on Army Geniuses? 1 against Galaxy Racer, Yangon, and Boom, and they are not too easy opponents either at all. So
that Yangon series is going to be so important.
Yeah,
like,
you
they
gotta
need
win
to
that.
2-0 that series if they're going to have any chance.
Yep. So keep in mind, the bottom 2 teams will be eliminated from the Pro Series. So that's what they're fighting for at the moment on Army Geniuses. Next up, we're going to have OB Neon taking on Dreammaker. It will be our last series of the night. So we'll see how these boys are able to battle out. Neon currently in 8th position and Dreammaker in 5th position. So Neon, they're also fighting to kind of keep themselves in. They've got a lot of series left over, but they don't want to fall behind too far this early on. We'll find out after a short break.